Welcome to the Fairy Elephant Effect, a space for realignment, self-responsibility, and the kind of clarity that changes everything. I am Elizabeth Walter, life coach, EFT tapping specialist, and the author of the Fairy Elephant Effect, and a guide for people ready to stop shrinking and start living from truth. In this podcast, we explore emotional resilience, shifting the stories that no longer serve us, living with more energy, not less, as we grow. We have fantastic guests on the podcast that come along and share their fairy elephant effects. And when you get to choose your next chapter on your own terms. I speak from experience, not theory. And what I share has helped hundreds of others reclaim their power and return to themselves. You won't find fluff or false promises, just real conversations, grounded truths, and honest encouragement. You matter because everything starts and ends with you. Let's begin. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Fairy Elephant Effect podcast. Last week we talked about boundaries and how they're not walls to keep people out, but sacred lines that protect our energy and help us come back to ourselves. We also looked at the guilt that often rises when we set those boundaries and how that guilt can trick us into slipping back into old patterns. Now on my YouTube channel, Lizzie's Insights Coaching, you will find an EFT tapping session about that guilt to saying yes to ourselves. You will also find the Fairy Elephant Effect podcast there. If you haven't had time to check it out, check it out. Why staying in your life matters. This week it's about something I've seen again and again with my clients, and I've lived it myself. When we don't stay in our lane, our life stops being ours. Here's what I mean. Your lane is your space, energy, choices, your priorities, your healing. It's where your power lies. The second we drift into other people's lanes, their emotional storms, their drama, their responsibilities, we start pouring our time, attention, and life force into things we can't control. It's a biggie, isn't it? And when you do that enough, you'll wake up one day feeling exhausted, resentful, and strangely disconnected from your own life. But there's a hidden cost to scattering your energy. When you spend your energy everywhere but on yourself, you run on empty, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Your own goals stall. There's no energy left for your dreams, for your aspirations. Your relationships suffer because you show up drained, not present. You can't be there with them. You become reactive instead of intentional. Life happens to you instead of through you. You're starting to build your life on shaky ground without focus, and the foundations of your life will crack under the pressure. It's not just about feeling tired. It's about creating a life that isn't built on solid foundations. You may look busy. You may even be successful in some areas of your life. But if you've been scattering your energy into everybody else's business, the structure you're building will not stand for the long haul, and you deserve better than that. There are a couple of common ways that we can drift out of our own life. And I've been guilty of some of these, absolutely. And as I'm saying though, they may really resonate with you. You might go, I've done that and I've done that. This isn't a good or bad thing. It's just that what we do as people. And the more we have awareness of what we're doing, the more choice we have on how we're living our own life. Here's some of those sneaky ways. Overthinking other people's choices, replaying their conversations, analysing their actions, worrying about what they should do. I've done that. Jumping in to fix or rescue before anybody's even asked us for help. I think I've done that one too. Being a constant emotional standby, ready to respond to a message, call, or crisis at any moment. Now, I have done that in the past. That is something that I really don't do anymore, because I really believe that people have the power to stand up for themselves. And if I am doing that for them, then I'm not allowing them to grow. And here's a biggie: overcommitting, saying yes to things you don't have time or energy for. And it could be for lots and lots of reasons that you say that, but it is a pitfall to not stay in our own lane. All of these may look like kindness, but over time they're just energy leaks, and every leak weakens your own foundation. How do you stay in your lane more? Now, staying in your lane does not mean you stop caring. It means you care without caring. And here's how you begin. Check in with your body. Notice if your shoulders are tight, your jaw is clenched, or your stomach heavy. These are signs that you're carrying more of your share. And who doesn't have these body sensations at times? And isn't it amazing how our body can tell us things if we only learn its language? You can check in with your thoughts as well and ask yourself, am I thinking about something I can actually control? Because if you can't control, let it go. You could even call your energy back. Place your hands on your chest and say, I call my energy back to me. Now, this isn't against anybody. I'm calling my energy back. This is just calling your energy back. This is just having an internal conversation and allowing yourself to have your energy come back in your body. You could spend some time auditing your commitments. Look at what you've said yes to and see if those yeses are actually costing your peace, time, and energy. When you start redirecting energy back to you, the funny thing is you'll suddenly realize that you've left your lane and that you can choose to come back to your own lane, because the more you start redirecting the energy back, the more awareness you will have of when you are not in your lane. Here's a nice little simple redirect practice. Take a pause, take a nice deep breath. In through your nose. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Out through your mouth. Maybe do that a couple of times if you're tense, and then ask yourself, where do I want my energy to go? Is it to volleyball? Is it to the shopping? Is it to any other task? Or is it just for you? Is it to take 2 minutes of breathing, 2 minutes of writing something down, 2 minutes of stretching? You know that saying, 2 minutes of motion starts to release emotion. Maybe that could just be your little reset button. You can create some daily energy rituals to protect your lane. Morning grounding, for instance. Before you check your phone, plant your feet on the floor, breathe deeply, and set your intention for the day. I do this in prime your day before I get out of bed. I thank my body for being so incredible, which means that I'm learning my body's language more and more and more. And then I go, may I be intentional today? May I be the best version of myself? And then I get up. Take movement breaks. Now, this is a game changer, because sometimes we start feeling tired and drained because we haven't moved enough. Even 3 minutes of walking, stretching, or dancing can shift stagnant energy, can give us a bit more energy. And when we have energy, as you will notice when you stay more and more in your lane, we make better decisions, we make more positive ones, we're more creative, and we have more to give to the world because we've invested in us first. Isn't all of that really, really good? Get outside if you can. Feel the air, the light, the sounds. That's always a good thing. And here's the question you can ask yourself for every action. If you have that little nagging doubt, we do have indicators that this is not the right thing for us. And as I say, the more awareness we have, the more we can tune into it. You could just ask yourself, Does this feed me or drain me? It's just a question. Before you agree to anything, you could ask yourself, does this feed me or drain me? Thank you for joining me again on the Fairy Elephant Effect. And may this have really helped you to start seeing where perhaps you are not in your lane. Because your lane is where your life grows. And every time you redirect your energy back to you, you're making your foundation stronger. And from a strong foundation, you can build a life that actually lasts. One that feels really good for you. Because you matter. It all starts and ends with you. Look forward to your interaction. Look forward to hearing how this has landed for you. Have you done the EFT tapping from last week? And there's an EFT tapping today about staying in your lane. Check them out. Feel the change. Feel the difference. Start living your best life. Bye for now, everybody.